Alright, this is going to be a real quick how-to video on how to shrink wrap a boat. These are actually a pair of Sea-Doos. Boat or pontoon Sea-Doos. They're all basically done the same way. What you want to do is you want to have the roll of shrink wrap there. And I just have it on a crowbar strung between two ladders, and then that way you can just pull it over whatever you're shrink wrapping at the time. This time it's two Sea-Doos. And first thing you want to do is after you get it wrapped across the top, then you take one strand of like a nylon rope kind of stuff it's made for. You wrap that all the way down around the bottom at the lowest point, and now we're at the point where we're going to start shrink wrapping it. At this point you're going to shrink wrap it. You get the bottom, what's left over on the bottom there, and you're going to get that hot. You're going to stick it to the top. After we're done doing this all the way around the bottom, then what you do is you're going to do a belly pan wrap, and that's basically so that it doesn't come back off or slide off the top when you're all done. But for right now, I'm going to turn this off in a second, but we're going to get this all stuck around the bottom. As you can see, we're just heating up the bottom and sticking it over the top of the wrap on the bottom. Good to wear gloves. Have like a little torch blower here mechanism, and a propane tank, and somebody who knows what they're doing. There's kind of a touch to this. You get carried away, you can burn holes through them real easy. So you got to be careful not to do that, not to get it too hot. Okay, we just got done getting all the way around the bottom. This is kind of how it looks. This is going to be right before we put the straps underneath the belly straps. I don't know how this one turned out. It's awfully bright there. Just kind of take a quick walk around. All right, now there is, they make a tape too. If you, hang on. They also make a tape. It's like a white, real sticky tape that in case you do melt some holes in there, kind of like this, although this one's not too bad, but if you do, you can put the tape over so that it stops the Okay, here's the tape I was talking to you about. It's a real sticky tape, and I'm going to set the camera down just to cut off a piece of it, and we're going to put it over some of these holes. I was told by the person wrapping that the holes are burnt in there on purpose so that we could show how the tape is to be used. All right. Peel off a little bit. Just enough to cover the hole, and that should keep it from tearing any further. Sometimes as you're doing it, you have to do this just so that as it stretches, and especially before we put the final heat to it and really make it tight, that it doesn't open up any of the holes. Alright. Oops. Kind of tape blends in well. They come in different colors, so depending upon what your shrink wrap is, you should usually want to get the same color tape. Okay, here's the roll. What is this called, Bo? Nylon what?
Shrink wrap.
Shrink wrap.
Shrink wrap twine.
Shrink wrap twine. It's kind of like a wide, so like a wide, half-inch wide nylon,
kind of like 1,500 foot to the roll.
1,500 foot to the roll. Now what he's doing is he's doing a belly wrap tie, because this, what they'll do is this will go down and this will actually hold it all together so that later on when it gets shrunk wrapped, the whole thing doesn't just pull off the top. And I've been told this is probably the most important part, because somebody who's to remain nameless didn't do it one time and the top actually came off when they went to shrink it. So I've been told. Normally what, the pontoon's got 3 of these on. We're going to go with 1 or 2.
I'll go with 2 on this one.
We're going to go with 2 on this one. And again, the other thing is you want to keep it someplace where it's not going to interfere with, like, hang on, Bo, the wheels and stuff like that. Usually you'll want to move your trailers around and stuff like that, so keep them away from the wheels. You know, one year we got them pretty close to the pontoon wheels. And you just come over here and you tie. Now also, I don't know if you noticed what he did, but if you can see that, but you have to make sure that you cut the hole above where the twine is underneath the shrink wrap. And you tie off there, otherwise it'll just go rip right through the plastic. So he's making his little loop here and he's going to cinch it tight. And we'll do 2 of them on the wave runners. Whoa, big old hole up there, huh? Alright, we'll have to close that one up with tape. Hey Mo, you might want to stop. It's pulling some more off of there. Yeah, hang on, I'll go grab the tape. Just to show you, here's a spot. The hole started right by the mirror. But again, with that white tape, you can close that up pretty easily. And it definitely comes in handy on the oopses. The other thing you want to keep in mind is you definitely want to try to do this on a calm day. It gets real windy, it gets to be a real pain to unwrap it and unwrap it from the roll and get it over whatever you're wrapping. The one we're doing on the Sea-Doo actually is this more of a dust cover than anything, because we're actually going to be putting it inside, but the wraps you want to do on your boats and your pontoons and that kind of stuff, you want to make sure you do a good job. Because that stuff has to keep the snow off during the winter. Of course, there's other things you have to do to your boats and your pontoons before you actually put the wrap on. The other thing too with boats, and I'm going to show you a boat and a pontoon that's also been wrapped, but one of the things you want to do on those is make sure that you have poles up in the center to make it a tent-like situation so no snow can actually gather on it. What I've done is I've actually left them doing the Sea-Doo. They're almost all done. The only thing they really have left to do is to put in the vents, and I'm going to show you where the vents are on this pontoon that was done. And this is our pontoon, and again, the poles on the inside, what we did is just put them on 2x4s, and we put foots on the top and the bottom, but you also want to make sure you put we put like old t-shirts and rags around them so that they don't pull through and rip through the tarp. But again, and on the belly straps, you can see here on the pontoon there's 1, 2, and 3, and those are very important, like I said, or otherwise this will just pull right off the top. But this one was done. We did this a couple days ago. Stays right on the trailer. And there's one other thing I want to show you that's in there that you should put in here for moisture. And hopefully it's not too bright here, because I know it's very bright outside today. But there's a vent right up there that you want to put that in a couple different spots. So that it can breathe during the wintertime, just kind of like vents in your roof of your house. And maybe you'll be able to see it on this side a little bit better, because it's very bright out today. I don't know how this is turning out. There's a vent up there too. And then here is this is the boat that my son did for his friend. So that one's all done. He actually had this all done. We were going to help him with it this morning, but before we got back home, he had it all done. So, like I said, he's done this before. Maybe this one you'll be able to see that vent a little bit better. Yeah, there's a little vent right up in there. Again, this one just needed one pole. And again, like I said, the wave runners, they didn't need any pole. If we were keeping it outside, that would have been different. We probably would have put something up in the middle just to keep it off, the snow off. But again, this one, he did a really good job. And again, like anything else, there's obviously people that can do it. The material itself is kind of expensive, but if you just like to, mess around, try it, do one of those do-it-yourself kind of people, this isn't really hard to do if you have Watercraft. So I would encourage you to try it. We do it every year now, but I think that's about it. All right. Hope this helps.